I already have base coat here, so I'm going to start with a red gel polish. It's just a cream color. We're going to cure that in the lamp per product directions. In this case, 60 seconds. We'll be right back. Base color is cured. I'm going to go in now with a red glittery polish. And I'll show you what that looks like in the bottle. Kind of this. Can I get this to focus? Kind of. Not really. A red glitter. Okay, we're going to cure that per product directions. Again, that's like 60 seconds, and we'll be back. We've cured our red glittery base color. Now we're going to add the stripes. On the paper below here, I have added a dollop of black and some green. I've kind of made a little custom mixture for myself, but if you have a color you like straight out of the bottle, you're welcome to use that. I'm going to start with the black stripes first in a very thin brush. And I'm going to try and do this so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do a stripe going vertically. Oh gosh, I hope you can see what I'm doing. And because I'm working with gel polish, I can clean that up a little bit. Flip the nail over because I can. Try and clean that up a little bit. There. Probably imperceivable what I just did there, but I just cleaned that line up a little bit. If you want, you can do a mini cure, like for 10 seconds to hold that line in place in between each line. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to help keep my lines neat, but if you do it quickly, you don't have to cure between each line. So I'm going to do that real quick here. And going in with the black again, adding another line. Focus. For neatness of the lines, I'm going to go in with a clean brush for my green. I'm going to add a line over here. Are we kind of in focus? Add a line across the bottom. Because the green is a little more sheer, I'm going to add a second layer of the green. Just going over the lines I've already made. Okay, we've cured the design. We'll add our clear coat just to seal in our work. Because I used gel for the lines, they are a little 3D, might require a couple extra coats if you want to make it completely smooth. So go ahead and slather on top coat. And we'll go ahead and cure that per product directions. This is with 2 layers of top coat. So I'm going to pop this guy off, put the next nail on to show you the next design. Next nail is prepped with some base coat, and I'm going to start. I don't have the exact color that I want, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, it doesn't look like this in the bottle. This is the label on the cap, but in the bottle it's much more gray. And just to give it a little more oomph, I have another color that's kind of, again, the label looks like this, but it's like this kind of jelly, semi-clear blue. And so this is the color that I want, but I'm afraid it's going to be transparent. So it needs something underneath it to give it opacity. So that's why I'm going to have the first color on there. So let's start with this guy first. Make sure we are in focus. Okay. All right, we're going to cure that per package directions, then come back for the next layer. Let's add our next layer. Blue I showed you earlier. Make sure you can see. All right, so that just kind of deepened up the color a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cure that, and we'll be back. And now we're going to go in with this palette down here. This is a leftover color from the previous design that I'm just going to try and use up. We have a bright green, a bright blue, a bright pinky purple. This is just from earlier when I was demonstrating. The one blue I wanted to use was not the best opacity. And so what I'm going to try and do here is kind of give the effect of northern lights, and I've never done this before, so this is kind of an experiment as we go along. I think what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to actually put a layer of clear coat on this nail so that the colors can kind of swirl and spread out a little bit. And we'll see how that looks. Since this is gel, if I don't like it, I can just wipe it off before I cure it. Okay, so I've got uncured clear coat on there. Let's go in with some of this green. Just kind of swirl that up on here. Maybe the other kind of green. Gonna kind of just coax that to spread out a little bit with a brush that I kind of just wiped off on the paper down here. And I kind of like that. I hope you can see that. I'm going to cure that. We've cured this to help emphasize that it's a nighttime scene. I think I'm going to add some little white dots to represent stars. So I'm going to put a little white down on my little post-it here. And I'm going to use the dotting tool end of my brush, dot in some little white spots. I don't like that one. Make it go away. See, can I make some of these? Ooh, I was off on the side doing that. Can I make some of these a little more starry looking? By just dragging it out a little bit. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cure that and then we'll go to the next step. We've got our northern lights and we've got some little, oops, and my battery ran out on my little light. You're going to be half in the dark now, sorry. Okay, so we've got our northern lights, we've got little stars. Now I'm going to put in some trees at this baseline here. And I'm just going to use this black that I already have set out. Let's see. Can I cheat? Not really. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put in a little black at the base here, just to establish my ground. Since I have so much nail here, this is such a large nail compared to my actual nails. Figured this is a good use for the false nails that don't fit my hands. Is use it to do little experiments like this for you guys. All right, so we got their ground in, and then for trees, I wanted to do something kind of more simple. So I'm going to do a straight line going up, straight line going up, and this is going to cover up some of our work, but I knew that going in. So and then I'm gonna just straight lines across to kind of give that feeling of an evergreen. It doesn't have to be perfect because they're evergreens. I hope you can see that. That would have been better with more lighting, but it is what it is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cure that. I'll probably go in for another layer just to fix up that middle one so you don't see the white through it. But we'll fix that up when we come back. We're back. I turned my light back on. I wonder if it just timed out. We'll see if it turns off again. So here is the nail that we did a few seconds ago. It's cured. I'm going to add a little more black on top of this middle tree because you can see the background star peeking through a little more than I want. Okay. And then I kind of just had a little bit of a happy accident there where the star behind was kind of outlining the tree. And I think I kind of like that. So I might go in with the white and do that again. But I'm going to cure this black real quick. We're back. I have plugged in my light now. So we're not relying on battery. We are cured here. And now I'm going to add a little bit of this white just around the edges of the tree to kind of help highlight them a little bit. Because I liked how that looked. If I don't like it, it's gel. I can just wipe it off. Hopefully I can do this without getting in your way too much. Kind of highlight the trees a little bit. I'm not liking it as much. I don't know. I don't like that. Let's try something different. I'm going to use a little alcohol to wipe that off since there's quite a bit. Okay. Let's try. What if we try doing something like that? Do I like this better? Kind of like almost like garland. I don't think I like that as much either. Maybe what I need is for it to be not such a bright white. What if I try that? Okay. Why you keep doing that? I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Okay. All right, so we're going to try and mix it. Fine, we're doing it without the light. All right. So we're going to try mixing a drop of the black with the white to make a gray color. So it can still be a highlight for the trees, but I feel like it's detracting too much from the sky when I have the vibrant white on there. So let's try this. Let's see. There. I think that works. I don't know how to explain what I just did, but I darkened up the highlight with a little bit of black so it was a gray, not a true white. I kind of focused the highlight more on one side of the tree than the other. And I broke up the ground a little bit with some of that highlight as well, just to show some unevenness in the ground. So it's not just a stark silhouette, but it's still not detracting from the sky, because I do want the sky to be the highlight of this design. So we're going to cure that. We'll come back for top coat. It's cured. Let's add top coat and do a final cure to finish off this design. All right, we'll cure that and be right back. Here's the finished design with top coat. Sorry, I don't have my light on. Hopefully by the time I finish recording this, I'll have enough recharge in that battery. I can give you a nice picture with the extra light on there, but there you go. So I'm going to pop that guy off, put the next nail on for our final design. All right, next nail is ready to go. I went ahead and put base coat, and I also put a base of just a plain white color. And now I'm going to add, I want to add a little glitter. So I'm adding this silvery, kind of shimmery glitter, and I'm just going to add it very sparingly. So I'm not going for like something too opaque, but also want fairly even coverage, if that makes sense. And cure that per package directions. So I've got my little extra silver glitter on here, and I also top coated with Born Pretty's top coat. It's a no sticky layer top coat. Supposedly any no wipe top coat or no sticky layer top coat will work, but I'm going to use a chrome topper from Born Pretty, and I feel like their toppers just work better with their top coat. So I've got that all on there and cured and ready to go. Here is the chrome powder. My bottle is a little messy, or my jar is a little messy. Sorry about that. You'll see why it's messy in a second. This stuff is just messy to work with. When I purchased this, I believe it came with this little rubber stopper. What do you call this? Rubber tool. It's a rubberized tool. And I'm just going to dip it into the powder, get a little bit on the end of my tool, and start putting that onto the nail. And you kind of buff it in, reapply powder as needed. And I like to do this over the jar so that most of the excess goes back in the jar. It's not necessarily the case. I'm still finding this powder all the time, all over my house, but that's okay. I really like the effect of the powder. And this particular powder is an iridescent type effect type powder. There's chrome powders that are more silvery or gold. This one is iridescent. All right, we've got our palette back in front of us. We've got a top coat on our iridescent glittery nail. So I'm going to use the white that I still have here, and I'm going to draw some snowflakes. off to the side. I hope you can see that. A little hard to see when I don't have my preferred lighting. So I've got like 2 big snowflakes there, and then I'll try to just make some little plus signs, really, or little X's to fill in the negative space. You can add a couple little dots. This is going to be the hardest one for you guys to see, but I hope you see what I'm going for here. So I'm going to cure that and top coat it, and I'll come back. Here is the last look. It is snowflakes on top of like an iridescent glitter combo. So I'm going to take this nail off. I'm going to line up all 3 looks together, and we'll be back to close out the video. All right, we've got light for a little while. Here's the 3 designs we worked on today. We have our iridescent glittery snowflake. I don't know how well you can see that. I really hope you can see that okay. We have our northern lights with pine forest treescape. And we have our, is that plaid? Is that a tartan? Is that gingham? I don't know the name of that pattern, but it's flannel. It's usually something that you see a lot around this time of year. They're not necessarily Christmas specific, but I think that they are very much acceptable for the Christmas season or any holiday you celebrate, or even if you don't celebrate anything this time of year, just to be seasonal, if you will. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something or at least entertained. You know the drill. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And this very well might be my last video for the year, so I will see you next year. Thank you very much. Bye. Oh, bye. That's my little bye. All right. Bye.